I just fucking got laid off. So I moved and saved this tiny house for over, I was saving for this tiny house for over 2 years. What's going on with my hair? That's better. Kinda. It is a cone thing. Anyway, I have been saving for this tiny house for over 2 years, planning for it for over five. And I have been a contractor and a tech worker and a game worker, blah, 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 for at least 10 years. And you would think that this would give me some type of tenure, some type of seniority. No. So essentially, like the 9 to 5 is dying actively. I'm watching it happen in real time. Truthfully, I've been watching it for the last 5 years. But this is going to introduce my new series, Unemployed series. And this is where Frugal Latina really comes into play. I'm grateful that I know how to have a budget. I know exactly what goes out every month. I know I know when to cut back, because if there's anything I've learned how to do despite my fluctuation in income is I know how to be poor. That's the biggest difference between, I feel like, myself and other creators who like got hired right out of college. No, I like trudged. There's still mud in my nails from clawing my way out of the hole. And mind you, I'm not in a bigger hole. Like, I arguably have much less debt. I have a mortgage now, which it is what it is, but I know how to make money. That's the thing. That's what I have in my spirit. I know how to make money. I know how to find substantial income. I know how to find work to do both within tech and in art. And I kind of feel like this is a dangerous thought, but I kind of feel like this is the time to lean into art. This is the time to go for those murals and commissions, because I talk about it quite a bit on here, but I am an artist and I just don't act like it. So, hi, Diana. She's right here. I don't know if you can make her out on the glass, but this is my survival series now. This is my unemployed series. And so I know you're here for the finances, and I'm still going to talk about the finances. But what do you do if the rug is pulled under you? Yep. So here we go. In the meantime, just to keep my sanity, I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to work this out because I'm going to do something I haven't done in a long time, is just sit and think. It's time to sit and think. That's what we're going to do. I'm just working on my fitness. Please don't copyright me. Come with me to get laid off for the second time in 3 years. Right now, more than ever, the tech industry and the game industry are so unstable. And it doesn't matter if you are higher up, if you have multiple skill sets, your job is at risk. So mine happens to be that. And I got a random 15-minute phone call with HR and my manager, and I'm like, yeah, all right, here we go. It's in 15 minutes. I had this idea about a couple of months ago to start kind of going into my work and like cataloging what I've done up until this point. So I have a good idea. And I also updated my LinkedIn because after my boss got fired and then my boss's boss got moved, I was like, tectonic plates, something is rumbling. Now I had my cry. It doesn't feel good, but maybe it's time to lean completely into art. I have no idea what I'm gonna do next. Anyway, here we go. And the killer is I haven't been able to focus or eat a real meal all day because, of course, I got the invite at like 8 in the morning for a 3:30. But I've worked in gaming and tech for almost 10 years. So helped push out Lamplighters League. I've helped push out the Xbox One backwards compatible titles. I have done, what haven't I done? I've done just most recently data analytics. So looking at payload testing and reading off JSON payloads. The only thing I haven't tested on, honestly, is like PlayStation. So I've tested a lot of Xbox, a lot of mobile devices. I worked on the um, the Nicki Minaj game when I was at Google Mobile. So I've run the gamut, but like outside of that, I graduated initially for fine arts. Don't leave your comments about that, but I'm still a vendor. I run Mouse Cat Studios. I'm a painter as well, so I've done numerous amounts of commissions, and two of my goals this year, funny enough, are to do murals, either here or just in the Pacific Northwest area. So I am noticeably bummed out, but like I feel like now I'm in like the acceptance period of like, okay, this sucks. And it sucked because it took so, like, I was a part of that hiring freeze that was like almost 2 years ago. That whole hiring freeze that was happening in 2025 and 2024, I was in the thick of that. So I'm not particularly excited about rejoining that because, again, I'm butting heads up against people who are also in the industry for 10, 20 years. And like, on one hand, it's fabulous that I'm not just getting started or a newbie. And on the other hand, I'm like, oh my God, do I even, like, what do I do? What do I do now? I'm also just hoping that like talking at you guys helps me feel even a smidge better, because I don't. I feel this small, and I can't focus on anything else. Also, for those of you who don't really do fidget toys, I have my stones. So when I get really anxious, I just rub my stones. 5 minutes till, and I just want it to be over with. And I don't think I have the gumption to record that, like, the meeting itself. So, yeah, we're gonna just keep pushing it. 4 minutes left. Stones in hand, got a snack, and just here we go. Well, my last day is the 10th, so here comes another countdown. Just had a really solid workout at Planet Fitness, and I will say this is that I have to go home and delete most of my subscriptions, and truthfully, most of the TV I watch is YouTube anyhow, but I get HBO through my phone. But all extra curriculars, if you will, like Hulu and all that stuff, they gotta go. So the subscriptions for me are the first to go, and then really honing in on what like the next 3 months are gonna look like spending wise. Now that I'm like thankfully done moving, but what has hindered me is that March was the most expensive month for me, and the timing, because such is life, could not be worse. So thankfully I'm waiting on a security deposit. I have one more check coming, and I already have money for April's like rent, mortgage, and lot rent, and I have one more paycheck coming after this one. So I'm tired, y'all. I think it's the part with unemployment nobody talks about is just the sheer amount of planning you need to do to make sure you're okay, and stepping back into hustle. It's like you kind of leave crunch for a little bit, and then you just jump back into crunch even though you're tired. So I'm gonna try to be positive about this and kind of just keep my head down and just be loud about the fact that I'm looking, because like my biggest mistake in the past was just like being quiet or trying to muscle it on my own. And if I've learned anything about unemployment, about this economy, is that we're no longer like just a 9-to-5 tech economy. There are blue collar jobs, and those are respectable jobs, don't get me wrong. But when it comes to like consistent work and pay, all of that came from just even a recommendation from a friend or a reference. That has gotten me so far of leaning into my community. So now is the time. I meet like I need to get clear on what my next step is, because I'm in a place, in a position where I'm thinking about retirement, and it's very hard to retire when you're looking for a job every 2 years. And that through no fault of my own. Most of my stability has never come from my job. It has come from just my savings and rolling things into a savings account. Like, it's just it hasn't been able to come from a regular 9 to 5 job. So, man,